A very colorful morning to all my dear students of class 12 of all the three streams, science, commerce and humanities. Once again I am here with you with the chapter The Rattrap by Selma Lagerlof. Now students, in my previous class I have already explained to you line by line page numbers 35, 36, 37 and 38. Today I am supposed to explain to you line by line from page number 39 to page number 42. And another reminder to you all, don't forget to put your attendance in the comment box. Now you follow my explanation. Students, you look into the Flamingo book of class 12 in page number 39. It is queer that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair and shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in a good-looking suit of clothes which belonged to the ironmaster. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased. He looked at him with puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake, but that now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. "What does this mean?" he thundered. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. "It is not my fault, sir," he said. "I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. But no harm has been done. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away." "Well," said the ironmaster, hesitating a little, "it was not quite honest either. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter." The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. "Now I am going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are," he said. "This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese rings and bits of pork set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble." What do these lines of page number 39 mean? The ironmaster's daughter said that it was strange to see that the peddler had been in such hard times and was doubtful whether the man had been educated. Hearing this, the ironmaster clarified that it was due to his bad condition. He also added that the man would behave differently after getting clean and dressed up. While both father and daughter were discussing about the peddler, he entered the room with the valet. He was looking clean as he had bathed and his hair had been cut by the valet. He was wearing the ironmaster's clothes and shoes, a shirt with a starched collar and shoes which covered the entire feet. The ironmaster seemed very angry to see his well-groomed guest, as now he could make out his appearance well and realized that he was not his comrade. He understood that he mistook some stranger as his old friend. He screamed at him and asked him to explain. The peddler knew that the ironmaster could make out that he was not his old friend. As he already knew this, he was ready for the consequences and felt that the luxurious treatment was about to end. The peddler tried to explain that he should not be blamed. He said that he was just begging for a stay in the forge. He also said that he had not harmed anyone and was ready to wear his rags again. To this, the ironmaster hesitated and said that the peddler had not been quite honest, and so he wanted to call the sheriff. The Rattrap seller gets so enraged upon hearing about the sheriff that he struck the table very hard with his fist. He said that this world is a rat trap and all the good things are a bait, just like the reams of cheese and the small pieces of pork are a bait for the rat which are offered to trap it. Now students, you look into page number 40 of the textbook. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will get caught in the trap. The Ironmaster began to laugh. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. But now get out of here as fast as you can. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that she went and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She could not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Wherever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. The ironmaster mumbled something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. You do preach worse than a person, said the ironmaster. I only hope you won't have to regret this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. The man with the rat traps said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. Time after time, he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? Students, what do the lines of page number 40 mean? Now, when the rat trap sailor said that this world is a rat trap and all the good things are a bait, just like the reams of cheese and the small pieces of pork are a bait for the rat which are offered to trap it, He also pointed out to the iron master that he may today be imprisoned by the sheriff, but one day or the other the iron master will also get trapped like this. The iron master didn't like the peddler's words and decided not to call the sheriff. He asked the peddler to leave at once. The iron master's daughter stopped the peddler. She wanted to help the poor fellow. Since morning she was planning how she could make the peddler's day happy on the occasion of Christmas. Therefore she went against her father's will and stopped him by closing the door. She tried to explain the difficulties faced by the peddler. She said that he didn't have any house. He was turned out from wherever he went, and he always kept on running in order to safeguard himself from being arrested. She said that she wanted him to enjoy Christmas with peace as they had promised him. They should not send away a man on Christmas, the man whom they had promised happiness on the day. The iron master was not able to find an answer to go against his daughter. The only thing he could say to his daughter was that she was trying good at convincing others better than the priest at the church. But he also warned her that hopefully her decision would not bring any adverse effect on them. The girl took the peddler to the table and offered him food. She saw that her father had consented to her wish. The peddler didn't say any word and started eating, though he was doubtful about her intentions and was wondering why she stopped him. Students, you look into page number 41. After that, Christmas Eve at Ramsjo passed just as it always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stretch. At noon they woke him up so that he could have his share of the good Christmas fare, but after that he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at Ramsjo. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him, but after that he disappeared again. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more. He then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which he wore was to be a Christmas present. He did not have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be welcomed back again. The man with the rat traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. The next morning, the iron master and his daughter got up in good season to go to the early Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep, and they did not disturb him. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. What do these lines of page number 41 mean? The peddler went to sleep after having food. He did not cause harm to anyone and lay down on the sofa in the guest house. He was once woken up in the afternoon, but after having his lunch, he again went to sleep. It was like as if he had never got the chance to sleep so peacefully as he had got at this place. In the evening, the family woke him as they had to light up the Christmas tree. He stood there blinking feeling as if he was getting hurt by the bright light of the candles. He again went to sleep. Finally, they cancelled him again for the dinner of Christmas fish and porridge. After the dinner was over, the peddler thanked everyone present there. The ironmaster's daughter said that the clothes which were given to him were a Christmas present from her father, so he could carry them with him. She even invited the peddler to be with her family for the next Christmas Eve and promised that nothing bad would happen to him. The peddler did not have an answer for this and stared at the girl with wonder. Next day, both the ironmaster and his daughter went for the Christmas service early in the morning. They didn't disturb their guest as he was asleep. At about 10 o'clock, when the father and the daughter, both of them, drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. Now, students, you look into page number 42. At church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who went around selling rat traps. "Yes, that was a fine fellow you let into the house," said her father. "I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time." The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when the ironmaster asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he had heard at church that the man was a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to be kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap, and in it lay 3 wrinkled 10-kroner notes. But that was not all. In the rat trap lay also a letter written in large jagged characters. "Honored and noble Miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long as if I was a captain, I want to be nice to you in return as if I was a real captain. For I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief, but you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not been raised to captain, because in that way he got power to clear himself. Written with friendship and high regard, Captain Von Stell." What do these lines of page number 42 mean? At the church, both the ironmaster and his daughter had come to know that a rat trap sailor had stolen money from the old crofter. They realized that he was the same man whom they had over as a guest. The ironmaster said that it was his daughter who insisted to give shelter to a thief and was wondering that how many silver spoons had been stolen by him. The ironmaster, on reaching home, inquired about the peddler from the valet. He also told him that he was a thief. To his surprise, the valet told him that the peddler, instead of taking something, had left a small Christmas gift for Miss Wilmanson. The ironmaster's daughter opened the gift. It was so roughly packed that she could easily guess what was inside the pack. Apart from a rat trap and 3-kroner notes, there was a letter. The peddler had thanked his host, who had taken care of him as if he was a real captain. In return, he gifted her a rat trap and also requested her to return the stolen money to the old man. He said that it was she who let him free from the rat trap by raising his status from that of a mere peddler to that of a captain. At last, he undersigned as Captain Von Stell. Students, I hope you understood my explanation of this chapter, The Rat Trap. If you have any problem, please let me know so that I can clear your doubts. In my next class, I will be giving you the questions from this chapter. Before you jot down the questions in my next class, I will request you to go through the chapter very nicely, okay? And if you have any problem anywhere, you can watch my videos. So thank you students for today. Bye bye. Stay safe.